Having a supportive community is the only reason I dare to jump into being a full-time creator with no existing following. It's the daily interactions with creatives that give me the confidence to put myself out there. And fellow creators are the ones who encouraged me to press publish 43 times last year on this channel, grow it from 90 to 400 subscribers, and gain a total of 20,000 views. Thanks to those people, I learned what the key is to never feeling lonely as a creator again. Hi, my name is Valentin, and after over a decade as a filmmaker, I am now building a community with creators exploring sustainable ways to grow in the creator economy. One thing that jumpstarted my creator journey was an online course on how to make it on YouTube in a simple and sustainable way. From it, I learned how important the vibe of a channel is. But more importantly, it came with an online space where all students could talk to each other. It was a teeming place full of like-minded people radiating excitement and motivation. So I made it my ritual to check in every morning before watching a lesson of the course. And soon, this small online community replaced most of my regular social media. And with that, my confidence to create grew. Like Matt suggests in the course, I reached out to a few people in the chat directly to form my inner circle. A group of people who help you see your blind spots, encourage you when you're down, and celebrate your wins. They are the people who have a deep understanding of your goals and aspirations, and ideally work towards the same thing. A few agreed, a few declined, and some I now think of as friends, and you probably have seen them pop up in one of my videos before. They are the ones that give me perspective on the journey and serve as anchors to keep me grounded whenever things don't go as planned. Through this online community, I also met people in the city where I live. Some more serious about building a channel, some less so. But once you start talking about a new thing that you're interested in and open your eyes, it is surprising to see that there are others just as excited about it as you are, no matter where you live. And what really blew my mind was how quickly you can become friends with a stranger by sharing an interest or two. When I first met Justin, who had recently moved to Vienna from the Philippines, we were both nervous introverts, unsure what to expect from each other. What if we would meet and just sit there and awkwardly try to avoid silence? Turns out that those concerns were totally unfounded, and the first coffee chat we hung out for 3 hours, I think, and could have talked for even longer. Now he's a friend and part of my local community, where we push and learn from each other with every release. The thing that makes local communities so valuable is that you can really get into the weeds and understand the overall situation much better than when you just talk online. Now, while Master YouTube was the spark that enabled all these connections, it was a closed group that not everyone had access to. So I dabbled in creating something myself that was more open, a way everyone could start a conversation with other creators. That is why I hosted a few virtual meetups last year that started real conversations between people. But those virtual events were pretty big lifts and took a lot of time and effort to prepare to the standards that I set for myself. And that is why I kept them relatively secret, because I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of a large group of people. But what was much easier to find and didn't have my name on it was a little corner of the internet called r/Colin and Samir. And when Samir first mentioned the existence of a subreddit on their podcast,
I have no idea how to post on Reddit. It's a fear of mine.
I just had to jump on the opportunity to connect with my parasocial mentors that they have become. This was a place where everyone curious about the creator economy could join the conversation and find people to connect with. In less than a year, we grew this subreddit from a few dozen to almost 3,000. A place where anyone can come for creator support and get feedback from the elder statesmen themselves, as well as other creators dealing with similar issues. This is the place that I spent most of my social media time on last year, and where I have learned so much about the intricacies of the creator economy, but also how to maintain a community. As one of the moderators, I had to deal with pushback and lazy posts, but also got featured in their newsletter, The Published Press, and got a shout out a few times on the podcast.
That simple tagline came to us from No Robot Yet, on Reddit. Very active member of our Reddit community. That's r/Colin and Samir. Make sure to join.
And honestly, that made my day every time it happened. So what is the secret to creating these connections? What can you do to never feel lonely as a creator again? I think that you just have to keep your eyes open to find a place that feels like home to you. But a word of advice, no matter which community you join, you have to put in the time, because you will only get as much out of it as you put in. If all you do is pop in and drop a link, wait for feedback, you will probably be disappointed. But if you're there to create meaningful connections, help others with your experience, and do more than just cry for likes, you will be rewarded tenfold. And most importantly, pay attention to the vibe. Matt's community isn't for everyone, and so isn't Colin and Samir's. There are places where I thrive, but that might not be true for everyone. Now I got one more thing to say, if you're still watching. Like I say in the beginning of my videos, I am building a community for, by, and with online content creators. Slowly, but steadily. And the first little step in this is to enable more face-to-face interactions by hosting a virtual get-together. Really casual, and there's gonna be one for now, but more if people show up and find value in it. The details are in the description, and I would love to know what you think of it. Now, if you want to know how this all turns out or want to see more of this, I am sure you know what to do. But with that out of the way, I thank you so much for watching, and it is time to create.